Donald Trump's on trial right now.
Right.
And his argument is this judge gave money to the Biden campaign. His daughter campaigned for Biden. This judge should have, what's the word? Recused himself from this case.
It's like judges are people too. And people do come into their job, whether it be a courtroom or a radio station or wherever, with their own life experiences. Yes, a judge is supposed to avoid the appearance of impropriety, which is why there's a rule that allows a judge to recuse themselves. Now, sometimes judges will do it willingly and easily. They'll say, listen, I have a conflict. I know the defendant. I know the plaintiff. And on their own, they will recuse themselves. Other times, it has to come after a motion's filed by one side or the other saying, look, you're just not the right judge. That's not an attack on the judge to tell a judge, you're not the right judge for this case. That's saying you are bringing into this some preconceived notions based on your life's experiences, and you're not the right judge for this. And most judges are great people. Most judges will look at that and say, you know what, you're right. Even if I have a feeling one way or the other, I'm going to let another judge handle it. Your question of whether there are some bad judges out there that bring their own motivations into the courtroom, the answer is yes. There's a percentage of them, just like in any other profession, that will refuse to recuse themselves for whatever agenda they have. In Oklahoma County and Cleveland County, we have some great judges. I mean, Judge Ogden, Judge Balkman. I mean, there's some fantastic judges. I love them both. They don't always rule for me, but I always think they're very, very fair. There's a handful, though, that I often wonder about and think I don't really want them on my case because of previous experiences.
Sure. You're hoping, please don't pick them.
In the Trump situation, put politics aside, because obviously people on the left hate the people on the right. People on the right hate the people on the left to some extent. So if you're a Democrat, you're going to think this is the perfect judge for the Trump, and if you're a Republican, you're not. The bottom line is, any defendant or plaintiff that walks into a courtroom, if there's a judge that is, as you've described, has donated money to that campaign, whose daughter has been on the campaign, that's not the judge for that case. That's not me attacking a judge.
Either way that goes, yeah.
Even if the judge could put aside all of that, the appearance of impropriety is so much that it's going to be grounds for appeal. You know, he's going to be able to say, this judge did this, 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 and this. There's too many other judges out there that are great that you could go get a judge that's not that type of an allegation. So I believe, just irrespective of your politics, that a judge needs to avoid the appearance of impropriety at all costs, and that this particular judge, whether they wanted the limelight or not, probably should have recused themselves and let another judge have that case. And it's not based on politics. It's just based on appearances.
You would think even the other side, who that judge might have some connection with, would be like, no, we don't want you either, because we don't want this to end any certain way. Or
yes and no. If you're a judge, if you're an attorney in a case, you want every possible leg up or angle you can get. And if you feel like that judge is going to like you or rule for you, I mean, I've got judges, I think, a close call, I think they'll probably go with me because, we've gotten along well, we've done well together. I really like that judge. If in this case, that lawyer probably knows it's a great draw for him and doesn't want the judge to recuse if he thinks it will survive an appeal. So it's an interesting question. There are great judges out there. Most of them are great. There are a handful out there that need to be doing something else.